1134 kHz. Katropa Radio. Iba tayo.
The opinions expressed on the radio program by the host, guest, and call-in listeners or chatters are solely the opinions and responsibility of the original source who expressed them. They do not necessarily represent the opinions of the station DWDD, Katropa Radio, the CRS-AFP, and the AFP in general. Viewers and listeners are urged to use their own discernment to draw their own conclusions.
You work and work for years and years. You're always on the go. You never take a minute off. Too busy making dough. Someday you say you have your fun when you're a millionaire. Imagine all the fun you'll have in your old rocking chair. Enjoy yourself. It's later than you think. Enjoy yourself while you're still in the pink. The years go by as quickly as a wink. Enjoy yourself, enjoy yourself. It's later than you think. You're gonna take that ocean trip, no matter come what may. You've got your reservations made, but you just can't get away. Next year for sure you'll see the world. You'll really get around. But how far can you travel when you're 6 feet underground? Your heart of hearts, your dream of dreams, your ravishing brunette. She's left you and she's now become somebody else's pet. Lay down that gun, don't try, my friend, to reach the great beyond. You'll have more fun by reaching for a redhead or a blonde. Enjoy yourself. It's later than you think. Enjoy yourself while you're still in the pink. The years go by as quickly as a wink. Enjoy yourself, enjoy yourself. It's later than you think. You never go to nightclubs and you just don't care to dance. You don't have time for silly things like moonlight and romance. You only think of dollar bills tied neatly in a stack. But when you kiss a dollar bill, it doesn't kiss you back. Enjoy yourself. It's later than you think. Enjoy yourself while you're still in the pink. The years go by as quickly as a wink. Enjoy yourself, enjoy yourself. It's later than you think.
Okay, magandang umaga po sa inyo lahat, mga kababayan na taga-subaybay sa ating himpilan ng DWDD, Armed Forces of the Philippines, AM Radio. 1134 kHz sa talapitan ng inyong mga radyo. At ngayon po ay mapapanood na ninyo kami ng live via Facebook. Hanapin lamang po ang Katropa DWDD. Ang programa pong ito ay hatid sa inyo ng tambalang Katropang Diony Magpantay, Katropang Ruben Banaag, Katropang Lito Ostria, Katropang Ramon upang isakatuparan ang paglilingkod sa bayan tuwing araw na linggo mula 10 hanggang 12 ng tanghali. Ang programang ito ay tatalakay tungkol sa pagmamahal at pagmamalasakit sa bayan sa pamamagitan ng pagtuturo ng wastong asal sa mga pang-araw-araw na ginagawa at pakikipagkapwa-tao, malinis, makatarungan at maunlad na pamumuhay. Tatalakayin din po sa programang ito ang kaalamang pang-agrikultura, pagtatanim, pangingisda, at pagproseso ng mga produktong galing sa lupa at dagat. Pangkabuhayan, livelihood, panghanap buhay, job opportunities, pangkalakalan o pangnegosyo, pangkalusugan, health tips, at iba't ibang mga kaalaman sa lipunan upang mamulat ang ating mga kabataan, mga magulang at lahat ng mamamayang Pilipino tungo sa kaunlaran ng ating mga sarili bilang isang individual at ng buong bansa sa pangkalahatan. At syempre pa, kaakibat din nito ang iba't ibang magiging mga panauhin mula sa mga pribadong sektor at mga sangay ng ating pamahalaan na mag-ahatid ng kanilang mga programa para sa bayan, nakapupulutan ng wastong kaalaman at mabuting aral tungo sa kaunlaran ng ating bansa. Kaya lagi po nating ugaliin na makinig tuwing araw ng linggo sa himpilan ng DWDD, Armed Forces of the Philippines Radio, 1134 kHz at manood via Facebook. Hanapin lamang po ang Katropa DWDD, 10:00 ng umaga hanggang 12:00 ng tanghali. Kamusta ka, bayan ko? So magandang umaga po sa inyo mga kababayan. At narito tayo muli upang atin pong bigyan na naman ng pansin ang tungkol po sa tinatawag nating edukasyon. Napakahalaga po ngayong araw na ito sapagkat meron kaming naimbitang at pinagbigyan po tayo na panauhin po dito na magbibigay po sa atin ng kakaibang uri kung paano po ihubog ang ating mga kabataan, ang ating mga yung ika nga ay pag-asa ng bayan para ho sa tamang pamamalakad pagdating ng araw sa ating pamahalaan. Ito po ay kakaiba sapagkat sa ating po mga natungayan noong nakaraang po mga linggo, napag-usapan po natin yung iba't ibang mga eskwelahan, yung kanilang mga vision and mission, how to educate people, at yung iba namang pinupunahan ng ating mga panauhin na bakit ang ganda ng ating edukasyon, may supervision tayo lahat, ay bakit marami nangyayari na hindi po naangkop sa tamang pamamalakad ng lipunan. Wala ho naman tayong binabatikos, pero tayo mismo makakatuklas kung bakit po tayo nagkakaganito. Ito po, kakaiba po itong klase ng ating panauhin. Mamaya po, malalaman ninyo ang buod ng kanya pong ginagawa para ho sa ating mga kababayan. Ako'y natutuwa at sa bumubuo po ng Kamusta Kabayan ko, ipinagmamalaki ko po ito sapagkat ito ho yung palagay ko pwedeng gayahin o ika nga kung ayaw niya ipagaya, abay manahin po natin yung best practices para umunlad ho tayong lahat. At ngayon po, ay bago ko bigay kay Kabayang Ruben to introduce him, akin munang pababatiin sa inyo yung mga co-host ko dito. Unahin ho natin si Katropang Mon.
Good morning po sa lahat. And I would like to greet people from Iloilo, most especially Haro, Iloilo. They're celebrating their fiesta, the feast of Nuestra Señora de Candelaria. And also I would like to greet also our participant during the 6th Asian Conference, and it was a very successful event.
Yes.
With our founding president, Dr. Diony Magpantay, and to all the awardees that we have from the government, to deans, educators, and even librarians, no? And they were there. Yes, no? They were there to receive their award, no? And also Undersecretary Diony was there present with us. Governor Bichara, also of Albay, he's present with us also during that event. Hindi ko na po patatagalin pa, and I'm so excited to learn, to hear from our guest this morning.
Okay, pababatiin ko naman din sa inyo po ang isa hong matindi rin na co-host ko dito. At ako natutuwa, hindi nakahuli ngayon. So, pabatay ko na po sa inyo si katropang Lito, Ostria.
Okay, once again, good morning po. At syempre, no, ito'y laging inaantabayanan dahil kakaiba itong programa natin eh. Purely holistic talaga to. Ang daming natutunan ng mga listeners natin, mga estudyante natin. Of course, kanina daw, na pag-usapan natin na parang mataas yata ang rating natin noong nakaraan. So, congratulations about
3,000 viewers.
3,000 viewers. So, ibang klase ha. Ibig sabihin nun, angat tayo, magli-level up tayo. So again, stay tuned and stay connected dito po sa programang Kamusta Ka Bayan Ko.
Okay, maraming salamat katropang dito. At ngayon po naman, ipapakilala po ng ating magiting na lalaki dito na si katropang Ruben, ang ating pong panauhin. Katropang Ruben.
Maligayang bati, linggo ng umaga, dito sa Philippines at sa buong Asia. Sa lahat ng Pinoy, worldwide, US at Canada, kahit yan sa inyo ay Saturday night pa. Monday, buong mundo, nagulat, nabigla. Sa plane crash, ang buhay ni Kobe nawala. Kay hirap tanggapin, walang maniwala. Their NBA legend, patay. Namayapa. Kobe Bryant and daughter at 7 kasama. Sabay na naglaho sa isang kisap mata. Paano at bakit ang ganyang trahedya sa buhay ni Kobe mararanasan niya? Ito ay patunay, nagpapatotoo, na di natin tangan ang buhay ng tao. Diyos na dakila ang nagbigay nito, karapatan din niyang bawiin kung gusto. Wala pang sinuman taong nakalikha. Nagbigay ng buhay sa wangis niya't kamukha. Tanging Diyos lamang nagpasyat gumawa to fulfill His purpose na kamangha-mangha. Kung Bible ay ating paniniwalaan, unique at kaiba ang taong nilalang. Of all His creation, tanging ito lamang, alabok niyang likha, binigyang talinot, kanyang kalarawan. Man was just piece of clay, lifeless, walang buhay, parang patay. Walang pakiramdam at wala ding malay. Parang isang tuod malamig na bangkay until God breathed in Him at nagisyang buhay. May isip, talinot, mga kakayahan. Lakas, dunong, talents, mga katangian. He can even create, gaway mamamasdan. He is like little God kung siya'y huhusgahan. After all, si Kristo mismo ang nagsabi sa mga alagad niya at kakampi. He called them His brothers. Ang lahat ay saksi. His co-inheritors of all God's creation for all eternity. O ware potential ng sinumang tao na makilala at tumanggap kay Kristo. Sa kanyang pamilya, masasama tayo, the family of God, ang Diyos na totoo. Kaya mahalagang Bible maunawa. Nang salita ng Diyos, mabatid ang tama. Once lang mabubuhay, atin tong itugma sa purpose ng Diyos nung tayo'y nilikha. Well enough for Kobe, ngayon laging laman. Novel coronavirus, balita saan man. Pag Now in the Philippines, confirm ng nariyan, paglaganap nito'y pinangangambahan. Pagkalat ng NCOV, nakababahala. Walang pinipili matanda o bata, hindi lamang Chinese, kahit anong bansa. Walang sinasanto, kaya dapat handa. Dapat iwasan din lugar na matao. Mag-face mask, lalo na kung may sipon ubo. Be concerned for yourself at mga kapwa mo nang di na kumalat virus at mikrobyo. At sa negosyante, stop hoarding naman. Face mask huwag itago, presyo huwag taasan. This is emergency, dapat magtulungan, huwag pairalin, sobrang kaswapangan. Wala na sa aking mga komentaryo. Pagkat sa himpilan may bisita tayo, Vicente Hauchin Jr. ang pangalan nito, lalaking ngayon lang nakilala dito. Ngayon ko din lamang profile niya'y nakita. Kaya introduction inaaral ko pa. Di pangkaraniwan kanyang biodata, his field of expertise, mukhang naiiba. Slim ang katawan, mukhang machong-macho. Puting polo barong bagay suot nito. He looks like Sian Lim and also Hayden Koch as his younger version, also Alapiolo. He's an educator as well as businessman. Manufacturing of belt, automotive, and industrial negosyo niya tangan. Export-import business din ay pinasukan and for 40 years ay kanyang tinutukan. President of Golden Link College ang ating bisita. Paaralang unique, sabi, paaralang unique bagot naiiba. Sabi ni Dr. Wu, walang kompetensya, their method of teaching, resulta ang proof niya. He's also an author ng maraming libro like Process of Transformation, kung paano magbago, Introduction to Morals and Dogma, Ageless Wisdom, mga patotoo na magpapabutit pag-unlad ng tao. Theosophical Society in the Philippines, past presidency. Department of Education, past consultant daw siya. Presidential Advisor on Peace Process, siya din ay kasama. Kaya si Vic Hauchin, well-rounded talaga. Sobrang marami pa siyang katangian na kung basahin ko, oras natin kulang. Kaya pabatiin na siya't pakinggan. Vicente Hauchin Jr., President of Golden Link College. Batiin mong bayan.
Thank you po, Dr. Banaag. Hangang-hanga po ako sa inyong pagkamakata. Galing-galing po. Na i-convert mo pa yung biodata sa isang balagtasang
Unique.
Thank you po. Good morning po sa inyong lahat. Ako natutuwa po na makasama ng ating mga host tungkol po sa topic na education. At ito isang napakahalagang bagay kasi dito po nakasalalay ang kinabukasan po, hindi lamang po ng ating kabataan, kundi ng ating bayan. So, thank you po for inviting me.
Okay. So, magandang umaga po sa inyo, Dr. Vic. Tatawagin namin kayong katropang Vic.
Sige po.
Dito po sa ating programa ngayong umaga. Siguro, umpisahan natin muna mga katropa, yung bibigyan ko ng isang katanungan si katropa pong B. Yung ang gusto ko kong malaman, yung sinasabi ninyong without fear, without anger, or without competition or ranking, but rather foster of loving, caring atmosphere, nakukuha niyo yung the best of themselves, the best o na-extract natin yung the best potentials of students. How do you do that?
Unang-una ho, siguro mga 40 years na po kasi akong involved sa seminars for adults and young people. I've been conducting youth camps, for example, for the past more than 20 years. At napuna ko, ang pangunahing sagabal po sa pag-unlad ng isang tao ay yung kanyang sarili.
Yes.
Pag mababa ang kanyang pagpapahalaga sa kanyang sarili, low self-esteem, low self-confidence, negative ang kanyang attitude sa sarili, siya ang pangunahing sagabal sa kanyang pag-unlad. And these are developed when they are young, sa bahay, sa eskwelahan, sa lipunan. At yung kakayahan po ng ating mga kabataan, ng ating citizens, hindi po naaabot because of these obstacles that are formed psychologically when they are young. So, ako po isang businessman, but since I was young, I had been very interested in education kasi sa tingin ko ito po yung landas patungo po sa tunay na kaunlaran. It's not financial. It's total citizenry. That's the reason why more than 30 years ago, I started a small kindergarten. Tapos later, we went on to high school, went on to college. And itong mga alituntunin po ito, yun po ang ginawa namin mga prinsipyo ng edukasyon. So halimbawa po, hindi lamang po sa mga estudyante, kundi sa mga teachers. Paano po natin maaaring alisin ang pagkatakot ng isang tao? Kasi ang fear is one of the most damaging thing that a person can have. Fear of rejection, fear of failure, fear of mga criticism, fear of heights, fear of the dark, fear of illness, fear of old age. All these things are unnecessary and are harmful. So, tinuturoan po namin ang mga bata kung meron na silang takot, paano ito maalis at paano maiwasan na magkaroon po sila ng bagong pagkatakot. Marami po mga tao, halimbawa, since I'm in business, I have interviewed many people. And there are many people who are talented pero hindi po lumalabas ang kanilang talent kasi natatakot po silang magkamali, pagtawanan, kantyawan. Okay lang naman magkamali tayo. That's very natural. But because of their fear, kahit alam po nila ang sagot, ayaw po nilang umimik kasi nahihiya po sila. So we avoid this po. So we have for teachers a training of 3 days in order that they will become self-aware. And then on a weekly basis, we do training continuously to all our teachers. Yes, all the teachers. Sa mga estudyante naman, in the classroom and outside of the classroom, we develop a culture such that wala pong pagkatakot, hindi po takot sa presidente, principal, teacher, pero rinirespeto po. And then, for example, sometimes po sa opisina ko po, kumbes, nandun lang po ako, may ginagawa ako. Pag may dumadaan pong kahit mga grade schooler, papasok po yan sa akin at makikikamay, good morning po, Mr. Houchin, ganon. Tapos kumbes, they will hug me. And it's something normal to them and they're not afraid just because I'm the president of the college. Does that mean that iiwasan nila ako? Ganon. Kung pumunta po kayo doon, si Dr. Wu nakapunta na po doon.
Yes, I experienced that.
Pag pumunta po kayo doon, pupuntahan po kayo ng mga kahit kindergarten, kakamayan po kayo. Good morning po, ganon. Kung best, pipila po sila kasi best, lulusob po sa inyo, ganon. So they're not afraid po of strangers. In our declamation program, we teach them how to face an audience without being afraid. Sometimes at the beginning, yes, they'll be afraid. But later, dahil sa walang competition, wala pong mga ranking, gold medal, hindi po sila natatakot magkamali. And then, yung kanilang natural na capacity ay nailalabas po sa ganong klaseng environment. So, the school is called the Golden Link College and it's a Golden Link school system. there are 6 schools in the Philippines, and we started one in India now. This year, pinapapunta po ako sa Brazil and Argentina kasi gusto rin po nilang magsimula ng ganong klaseng schools. Medyo mahirap po magsimula ng school na ganon kasi kailangan po magmula sa pinakamataas na nanunungkulan. Dapat malinaw po sa kanila itong filosofiyang ito. Kasi kung hindi po, mahirapan po. Kasi ang teachers, tumitingin lang po sa namumuno. Yung estudyante, tumitingin sa teachers. So kapag hindi po malinaw sa lahat, hindi po, mahirap pong implement yun.
From the janitor, of course.
Yes, oo. Ayun, janitor, yan.
Yan, so at least meron kayong idea ngayon na nakukuha pa rin the best of a person nang walang competition. Di ba? Tayo kasi nahirati na pag nagko-competition, doon tayo nakakakuha ng the best. Kaya daw nagkakaroon tayo ng mga scientists, etc. etc. Now, nakita po natin. Ngayon, pibigyan ko ng pagkakataon si Doc Wu, o si Katropang Mon, ang magtanong ngayon. Kasi, na-experience niya, and based on the guidelines of CHED, ay paano naaayon niya doon sa guidelines ng CHED at anong ang reaction on your report based on the experience that you have done. Ikaw na ngayon ang magtanong Katropang Mon.
Okay. Actually, I was privileged and happy to visit Golden Link College as one of the ARQUAT when they offer their college program. But before I visited that school, I already met Doc Vic, no? During the I attended the seminar on self-transformation na doon sa Theosophical Society, and I met the teachers of Golden Link, yung new teachers that they have to undergo the 3 days seminar, no? And I really experienced that with those little kids, no? When a visitor visited their school, they will really greet you. And if you will not respond to that kid, they will not leave you. They will still stand in front of you and then look at you. And if you will not answer them back, they will really hold your shirt or whatsoever to get your attention.
Very persistent. No?
Yes, no, those are the kids. It's not only the kids; it's up to the college level. So I would like to ask if somebody, a president of a school or to put up a school, ano ba yung gagawin nila, no? Na ano yung process to start up with that kind of
is that a franchise or what? Wow, yung parang gano'n.
Yeah. So ano yung process na maibigay sa mga magsa-start ng ganitong klaseng education?
Unang-una po, hindi po siya franchise.
Okay.
We have conducted seminars to DepEd, principals, supervisors, teachers, private schools, and we do it for free. We are making available anything that we have for free, and for them, if they'd like to try it, we would even be willing to help. That's why we helped in India to start such a school. And so there's no franchise. Yeah. Second, for those who would like to try this, it can either be isang existing school or isang bagong eskwelahan.
Okay.
Pag existing schools, medyo na-notice ko sa loob ng mga mahigit ng 10-20 taon, nahirapan sila. Kasi meron na po silang kultura, meron na po silang sistema, meron na po silang teachers na ang kanilang thinking ay ganun na, mindset. Medyo nahirapan sila. So oftentimes, ang recommendation ko, magsimula ka na lang sa bagong school. Kahit na mag-kindergarten ka na muna, grade school, and so on. And to start this, the one who starts the school or the one who leads the school must really understand the whole philosophy. For example, bakit po walang competition? Mm-hmm. The simple answer is that competition is harmful. Mm-hmm. While we are saying that competition will encourage the talented, pero si Einstein, for example, wala naman niyang hinahabol na mga awards, mga and yet he's one of the best scientists in history. Mm-hmm. He is doing his best look at the outstanding people in the world, even people like Gandhi, ganon.
Yeah.
They're not running after an award or kwan. It's not that. It's that they're trying to become the best that they can be. So ang isang kwan po namin, isang parang slogan po namin is we use the word excellence. Excellence is to become the best that you can be, not to be better than other people.
Okay.
Palaging merong taong mas magaling sa'yo. Imposibleng wala. Maraming mga taong mas lamang ka. Para pa tayo nasa hagdanan, we are somewhere in the middle. There are those above, there are those behind. If we keep on looking at those above, we will discouraged. If we look at those behind us, we will feel proud unnecessarily. What is important is that kung merong contest man or competition, we compete with our potential. Halimbawa, pinanganak po ako, ang IQ ko is only 50. Kayo po ay 100 or 120. How can I compare myself with you? I was born like that. So ang kakompete ko po ay hindi kayo, kundi yung aking potential. 50 lang po ang aking genetic IQ. Pag naabot ko po yun, I've done my best. I cannot hope to reach what you are reaching. So to compare the others to me is unfair. Pag naman pinanganak po kayong genius, ganon, then yung iba po, we look at you as somebody different and we cannot compare ourselves to you. And for you naman, if you're a genius, if you feel proud all the time, hindi rin siya helpful. So competition is not something which is in the long run wholesome. Kung okay po yung competition, I'll ask one question. Halimbawa, meron po, sa magulang, meron po, halimbawa, 4 na anak. Okay ba, nasabihin ng magulang, uy, sa kayong 4, ang pinakamagaling ay si ate. Pangalawa ay si kuya. Ang pangatlo ay ikaw. Ang pang-4 ay ganon. Ganon. Okay ba yon? You'll be destroying not only the poorer ones, but all of them. Pati yung sinasabing number 1. Kasi magiging siyang insecure. Uy, baka next month, hindi na ako number 1. Ayun, meron na siya insecurity. Rather, we recognize the talent of each child and bring out the best in each child. Kasi iba-iba, wala namang walang dalawang bata ang pare-pareho. Iba-iba ang kanilang talento, ang hilig, ang kanyang abilidad. Ano po? So, in the school, we must first understand and believe in this principle. Because there will be parents who dapat mayroong competition, dapat may honors. Marami po mga magulang na kinakausap po kami.
Okay.
Sana meron kayong medals and so on. Then we explain to them. Meron pong isang magulang, winidraw niya po yung kanyang anak.
Dahil so walang competition.
Wala po mga medals, wala mga honors. Di, inalaw namin po. Pero sa loob po ng 20 taon, isa lang po ang nag-withdraw.
Okay.
Pero hindi po kami magbabago ng aming philosophy just because yung parents po ay gusto number 1 ang kanyang anak and so on. So the head of the school must be convinced of this principle.
Correct.
And when he's convinced, then from the top down to the bottom, then ito po yung iiral na filosofiya at yung methodology. Pati po sa classroom, yung teacher, sasabihin na, uy, siya ang pinakamagaling dito sa biology class ko. We avoid that. Because kahit na walang first honor, second honor, pero pag sinabi ng ganun ang ng teacher, you already have an atmosphere of competition in the class. Kasi merong pinakabaling, pangalawa, pangatlo, and so on. And many of us are not first honor students, valedictorian. What, 90% of us are walang honors. Paano yan? Hindi pala tayo magaling. But that's not true. Si Bill Gates drop out sa college. Ganon. Si Thomas Edison huminto ng second grade sa school. Ganon. At sabi nung teacher ni Einstein. Sabi ng teacher ni Einstein sa kanya, sabi niya, this child is so slow, there's no hope for him in the future. Si Einstein na po yan. Si Edison ganon din. Pinahinto na lang kasi he's not learning anything. Ganon. So, when it comes to these kinds of ranking, we often miss the potential of children. Kaya, in answer to the question, the the leader of the school must first be very clear about this, because there is so much opposition that will come along the way when he's implementing these things. Sa amin po, for example, we are a vegetarian school. Wala po kaming karne, wala kaming soft drinks, wala kaming junk foods. Ang daming mga magulang nag-react dyan.
Okay.
Uy, yung anak ko, hindi kumakain ng gulay, ganon. Pero we don't want anything in the school na pinapakain namin sa estudyante makakapinsala sa kanila.
Correct.
Yung high blood pressure, mga cardiovascular diseases. Kung gusto nilang kumain ng kwan, sige, sa ibang lugar, but not in school. Gusto nilang Coca-Cola, sige, sa labas, but not in school. So we don't have soft drinks in school. Ngayon, the parents will say, sana naman mayroon kang soft drinks kasi gusto ng anak ko ng soft drinks. Okay, you do it at home if you wish to, but not here. So we have to be consistent. Pag hindi po believes yung leader ng school tungkol dyan, sige na nga, sige kung beses every Friday, Coke, ganon. Ganon.
No compromise.
We try our best not to compromise.
Okay. Maliwanag ho mga kababayan yan. And mamaya malalaman natin ang outcome malalaman natin mamaya. Lalo na sa colleges, di ba?
Yeah.
Katropang Lito, ikaw naman nabibigyan ko ng pagkakataon para makapagtanong sa ating panauhin ngayong araw na ito.
So,
Napakagaling mo rin educator eh. Okay.
gusto kong express yung sarili ko, no? I am doubly happy.
Okay.
Una, thank you kay Doc na siya yung nag-invite, no? Pangalawa, si Dr. Ruben, natatandaan natin, lagi niyang binabanggit to, there should be no competition.
Okay.
Mukhang yung dream come true.
Okay,
Kasi maganda yung...
Pinagdasal ko yun eh.
Maganda. Naalala ko yung nangampanya si President Duterte. Sabi niya, di ba, while doing the campaign, sabi niya, change is coming. Tapos nung nakaupo na siya, change has come. Dinugtungan ko naman kapag nagsiseminar ako, keep the change.
Punchline yan. Iniintay natin yan.
Pananatiliin yung pagbabago. Yung pan natin din, di ba? Pero, ikukunik ko lang, imposible kasing yung pagbabago kung hindi nakapokus. Kaya ang ganda nung yung system nila. Kasi, there has to be procedural steps. Sa Pilipinas kasi, mahilig tayo sa ano ba tawag doon? Yung pachi-pachi, yung
Copy-paste.
Copy-paste, tsaka parang pwede na yan kahit, di ba? Wala tayo yung holistic talaga, no? Pero bihira ito, pambihira itong ganito, no? Sabi mo nga, Kabayang Juni, ay for 10 years, straight akong nagtuturo sa isang university. So, ibig sabihin, nakita ko na kailangan talaga there is a need for this kind of system na pero nakakahanga, no? Kasi 20 years na po and you are being invited even in other countries para magturo. For free. So, siguro ay encouragement sa bawat isa sa atin to. Nasa mga schools, colleges, mas maganda talaga na ma-implement May tanong lang po ako. Tama po yung meron po tayong tinatawag kasi na in the past, meron tayong kapag ka magaling ka sa klase, bright ka nga. Paano kung magaling ka sa math, magaling ka? Paano yung iba nga na walang kakayahan? So, is this in connection with, I think, Howard Gardner, yung multiple intelligences?
Yes.
Kasi doon ko nakita na hindi po pwedeng sabihin mo bobo ka dahil mahina ka sa math or bobo ka dahil mahina ka sa science. Kasi nga, with that multiple intelligences, nadidevelop lahat ng bata So, walang bobo talaga. Sabi ko nga, walang taong bobo na isinilang kasi according to research, the human mind can process 400 billion bits of information. So, walang bobo. Sabi ko nga, baka gutom lang yan, dapat pakainin So, ano po ang connection nun?
Yes. Sino po ba pwede makapagsabi na si Kobe Bryant is less successful than Einstein? Is success being measured by just one form of intelligence, which may be science or math or English or dancing or what? Ganon. I've watched sa billiard, si Efren
Bata. Yes.
Magikero talaga. Ang galing-galing. I cannot imagine how he can do that. You mean to say that he's less intelligent than other people? Grabing intelligence kailangan nun in order to look at the angles and the trajectory and so on. So, si Howard Gardner said that there are 9 kinds of intelligences. And we cannot compare that one is better than the other. So, a person who is, tayo naman, yung IQ test natin is based usually on cognitive, mathematic, and verbal intelligence. Hindi po yan papasa yung isang musician na hindi po marunong ng math. So, mababa ang IQ niya based on the test. Palitan mo naman yung IQ test based on musical ability, bagsak naman yung iba. But can you say that a person who is a musician, less capable, less successful, less intelligent than somebody else is not? So, this idea has already been adopted worldwide. In fact, there's a school in the Philippines called Multiple Intelligence School. It's an international school. Na yun ang title mismo. So, what is needed is the teacher should be able to recognize the talents of each person, but at the same time, they must also be taught basic things. For example, language is basic. Kahit sino po, whether artist or musician or engineers, they need good language foundation. So, ang fina-focus po namin ay focus on 2 basic skills. One is language, which is Filipino and English, and the second is math. When a person is good in both these things, kaya naman po lahat, science, history, sociology, and so on. But in addition to this, we have a third one, which is more important than the first 2. It is personality development and character building.
Yes.
Pag wala po ito, kahit ang galing-galing po ng isang tao, magkakaproblema po yan sa buhay. Magkakaproblema pag nag-asawa na siya, pag siya ay magulang na, pag siya ay professional niya, makakaaway niya mga kasamahan niya. So, this third one, which is really the first one, is our primary principle in Golden Link School system. So, for example, a person may be very quick in mind and magaling sumagot, pero very rude, agresibo, nangiinsulto. Pumasok yan sa anumang kumpanya, magkakaproblema po yan. Hindi po yan tatagal. Pag grabe po ang kanyang temper, konting bagay lang, maninigaw na, then hindi po yan aangat, magiging manager or vice president or what. Kasi meron siyang problema sa human relationship. So we give primary importance to personality and character development, and then these 2 skills. In the development of personality and character, we focus on what are called life skills. Kasi yung skills po natin ay meron pong 3 category. Life skills, tapos work skills, and professional skills. Yung professional skills, accounting for accountant, computer programming for computer technicians. Yun po yung professional skills. Work skills would be, pag sinimulan mo ang isang bagay, tinatapos mo ba? Kasi kung hindi mo tinatapos, kahit magaling ka, wala kang resulta. When you promise something, do you deliver it?
Yeah, commitment.
Mga ganon. These are work skills. But life skills are different. Life skills refer to life in general. How do we relate with human beings? May problema pa bagat. I meet many people who are always yung grabe ang problema sa tao, asawa, anak, katrabaho, and so on. So, they do not become unhappy, they do not become happy, and they are also ineffective in their work. So, relationship effectiveness is one example of life skill.
Okay.
Another one. Are you a person who is potentially unhappy because you have a lot of fears, depressiveness, and so on? Or are you a person who has a mindset that is positive, helpful, cheerful? This is a life skill. There are people, the other day, meron pong refer sa akin na somebody who is depressive na ayaw niya na mabuhay. Young, ganun. So here is an example of something wrong with the life skill. Because nagsimula pa lang sa buhay, nandun na po siya sa ilalim. Whereas dapat at least normal, pero nandun na siya. So we had a problem. Huminto na po siya sa pag-aral. Ganun. So, the life skill component of education, I think is very important. Huwag kang matakot sa mga kahit sino. Nandito si Presidente Duterte or si Presidente kung sino man yan. We treat them as fellow human beings and not be afraid. Oftentimes in our families, pag may bisita, tabi kayo, wala na may bisita. But the more enlightened parents say, uy, hali kayo kasi may bisita ho. Let's greet our visitors. Ganun. Then they feel okay with anybody in this world. These are life skills which should be part of our curriculum and our education. Not just about technical things or about academic things. Yeah.
Well said, well said.
Follow-up question lang mo.
Okay.
Pwede namang mamaya sasagutin ni Doc Vic, ano? Yung process, I'm very much interested with the process kasi ang haba ng alam ko proseso nito eh.
Yeah.
So pwede pa nating malaman siguro mamaya. And kasi nga connected to sa I have my students who are watching right now, MBA students sila ang subject ko naman ay management of change. So very timely to. Kaya ang ganda ng ano. So
Baka masagot na.
kayo po
In brief.
in brief po yung process nito at gaano katagal para magkaroon ng transformation yung isang guro o isang estudyante.
The way we are molded in life is composed of many things. One of them is the environment,
Yes.
which means in a school, it's the culture of the school. In other words, it's not in the classroom, it's in the whole culture. If the whole culture is oppressive, the student will feel intimidated.
Okay.
If the whole culture is welcoming,
Yes.
the person will feel outward, outgoing, friendly, and so on, and not insecure. Ganun. So, one part of the important part of the process is to develop a culture. Example na lang po, sa isang bahay, kung ako po yung tatay, tapos ako po yung bully ako, pag wala po ako, masaya yung mga bata. Pag dumating na ako, wala nang imik, tago na sila lahat. I'm creating the culture in my home. Ganon. And if the mother is also like that, ayan, the children will grow up with this kind of intimidated feeling. And when they go out in society, they will become bullies. Kasi dinidikdik sila sa bahay, sa ibang lugar, maghanap sila, paano sila aangat. So they become bullies. So the culture. The second would be the method, the principles. Dapat malinaw. Halimbawa, no competition, no anger, no punishment. Wala po kaming punishment in school. We never expel children except when they're harming others. We don't expel them. We tell them, hindi ko namin pwedeng ipa-enroll uli next school kasi sinasaktan mo yung iba. Can you promise that you will not? They promise usually because they like the school. They're happy here. And they fulfill their promise. So, wala kaming tinatanggal ng mga estudyante. Ganun. So, the principles should also be clear to yung nangangasiwa po. Pangatlo would be the methodology. The methodology on how it is being done, both in the culture and in the classroom. And the fourth area is teacher training. Super importante po yun kasi ang mga teachers, especially mga bago, meron na po silang gawi-gawi, mga habits of dealing with young people, madali sila magalit, mainipin, impatient. We need to let them let go of these things. Is it possible, for example, to remove anger in one's life? Possible po yun. Normally we say, hindi po pwede, kailangan gamitin mo yung anger kasi paano yan? Hindi ka effective pag hindi ka nagagalit. Hindi po yun totoo. I know of many parents. Kami po, ng misis ko, we have never punished our children. We have never shouted at our children. But our children have grown up na very responsible, quite balanced. Yung students po namin have teachers who do not use punishment, who do not use shouting or threat, and yet they come out well-disciplined, well-balanced. Wala po kami mga major problems about student discipline. In the matter of discipline, for example, explain to each child why something should not be done. Kapag naintindihan po ng isang bata kung anong reason, makikita niyo po, susundin niyo po yun. Pero pag pinagbalawalan po natin, pero hindi in-explain, pag wala po tayo, gagawin po uli yan. Kasi hindi po nila naintindihan. One of the learnings I have in education, as well as being a parent and grandparent, is that children are very happy to comply with what we tell them, provided there are two things. One is that they love and respect us, and the second is that they are given an explanation. Pag halimbawa, galit sa akin ang anak ko, sabihan ko siya, uy, huwag kang maganito. Pag galit siya, gagawin niya opposite kasi meron siyang resentment sa akin. Pero pag mahal niya ako at nakikita niya mahal ko siya, hindi niya po gagawin ang anumang bagay na makakapag-disappoint sa akin.
Correct.
Ganon. That's what we are in human nature. So these are examples of the principles and methodologies. So for the teachers, we need to train them. Matanggal po halimbawa yung magalitin. Is it possible to be effective when we don't use anger? It's absolutely yes. I know people who are in business. I've never seen them angry, but they're very successful in business. Parents, teachers. I'll share with you lang po isang personal na experience ko po. Before I got married, I became a member of the Theosophical Society. Yung Theosophical Society po, hindi po siya isang relihiyon. It's just isang samahan po siya na nagtataguyod ng character building, spirituality, goodness, social unity, and so on. Tapos, doon ko po na-encounter yung tungkol sa emotion po ng tao. Magalit, depression, fear, and so on. And lahat po tayo, lumaki, merong galit po, one way or the other. And I had to deal with this anger and fear. Meron po ang maraming fear, meron po rin po irritation and anger. But through the Theosophical Society, I learned how to become aware of this, and they gradually faded away. Yung girlfriend ko po, naging member din po ng Theosophical Society, at ganun din po siya. We were boyfriend and girlfriends for 7 years. And then we got married. We've been married for 41 years na. So we've been together for 48 years na, very close. During those 48 years, we have never quarreled, not even one single time. Umiyak na po kami, nagtampuhan na po kami, nasaktan na po kami, but we have never quarreled. Ano po yung difference? Wala pong anger. Pag may anger po, we attack the other person.
Yes.
Pag ako'y nasaktan, iiyak ako, I'll go to the bedroom or bathroom, but I'll not attack the person. The only reason why I would attack my wife or anybody else is when I'm angry. Then I become aggressive. Anger is an energy that wants to come out. Pag lumalabas po sa bibig, sisigaw tayo. Pag lumalabas sa kamay, gusto ko tayo manuntok. Pag lumalabas sa paa, maninipa po tayo, kahit mesa or pader. Ganon. Because the energy is there. Pag wala po yung energy, we're not angry. When this imbalance is not there, there's no fear. You cannot be afraid if you're very relaxed.
Yeah.
You cannot be angry when you're very relaxed. So when a person, the teacher, learns about this, kaya nang i-handle sarili nila. Malikot ang bata, miingay ang bata, hindi sumusunod, hindi po siya nagagalit. Iniisip niya, ano bang approach na okay dito? So we have to train the teacher. So ito po yung some aspects of the training. So medyo komplikado rin po. Pero that's life. Life really is complicated. Hindi lang sa school, kundi sa bahay po natin.
Okay.
Sa mga kumpanya.
Okay. Alam nyo,
Thank you so much.
hindi lang ho sa education to ng mga bata. Education natin lahat.
Yes.
Kaya pagbibigyan ko na itong ating talagang ang advocate niya ay walang competition. Nakahanda ka na siguro, katropang Ruben.
Okay. Kanina pa. Actually, buong oras nito, I can consume na wala akong sasabihin kundi puro mga tanong. Napakaraming tanong. Pero I have to start somewhere. And let me start with competition because and this is not it will both into question and competition eventually. Ganito kasi, I have for a long time been advocating although I've been telling you, walang naniniwala sa akin. Bakit walang naniniwala? You will never succeed niya. Ikaw lamang mag-isa ang naniniwala dyan sa ganyan. But look at it this way. Yeah. This is how I see life. No? We are not creator of our own life. We did not invent life. We did not engineer. We are not the architect. We have no contribution with our life. But we are alive. Nabuhay tayo. Not because of our own will or anyone else's. Not even our parents. Parents has only been made an instrument. Someone greater than our parents has been an instrument. They are the source of life. And to my understanding, that one is a perfect being. Walang anything wrong that could ever emanate from him. Everything is perfect because the entire creation is his own creation. He owns it. And he is not the author of confusion. Hindi siya gagawa na magkokontrol. Unlike our laws, even our laws of the Philippines, sometimes there are conflicts of laws, di ba? But it will never happen to the Creator who gave us life. And this very Creator never create duplicates. Walang duplicate yan. Pati nga fingerprint mo out of more than 7 billion, wala ka makikitang exactly the same. Everything is different. When you compete, you have to compare. Di ba? Nanalo siya dahil sa mas magaling siya. Yung isa, lesser. Wala yung iniwan sa prutas. Alin bang mas masarap? Ang chiko, ang mangga, ang papaya, lansones, durian, etc. You must never compare them because they are different. Hindi mo pwedeng meron silang kani-kaniyang katangian. They could be the best of their own kind. So, iba-ibang tao, kagaya nga ng sinasabi ni Dr. Ho Chin, I'll call you Vic, no ha?
Just
Total,
Vic.
kanina tayo nag-uusap, you ask me, you tell me to call you Vic, ano? Okay. Ang competition, nasabi ko sa iyo na para sa competition, para ka manalo, kinakailangan may matalo.
May matalo. Tama.
And I have never seen one happy loser. All loser. Wala because in the first place, you will not enter a competition with the purpose of losing. Lahat yan ang purpose.
Winning.
Manalo. Pero dito natalo ko. Pero, sasabi mo, sports lang yan, nakangiti ka gano'n. Pero,
hindi totoo yun.
pinepeki mo yun. Di ba? Dinadaya mo ang
Nasasaktan
sarili
ka.
mo. Kagaya nga nang nasabi niya, he even made comparison with Einstein, Kobe Bryant, and all those recognized people. They're not there to compete with anybody. They're not there to prove anything. But they're there to give their best.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because each of us has been created by the one I call God for His own purpose. Meron siyang purpose para sa atin. Kaya niya tayo nilikhang iba't iba. Get? Okay. Now, pero yung iba't ibang pagkakalikha sa atin at ibang mga katangian, kinakailangan maayon sa kaniyang kagustuhan. Otherwise, like musical instrument, may drum, may trombone, may piano, may saxophone, etc. Mga musical instrument yan, iba't iba ang klase ng tugtog niyan. Ilagay mo sa mga competent hand of a competent musician and let them all play at the same time. Lahat pinakamagagaling. But let them play it at the same time, different instrument. And what will you have? Chaos, confusion. Because they will sound differently, and yet they are sounding at their best. But each of their best is clashing with one another. Pero, lagyan mo yan ng nota at bigyan mo ng isang conductor,
Director.
napakagandang musika ang kanyang malilikha. Kaya, I believe in cooperation. Andyan ang punto ko. And also, authority. Kailangan merong authority. Kaya nga, nang sinasabi mo kanina, marami kong mga sinasang-ayunan sa mga sinasabi mo kanina. I was in agreement sa mga sinasabi mo. Even fear, to some point, I agree with you. But you know that there are healthy fear.
Ano po yan?
Ha?
Ano po yan?
Fear God and obey His commandment. Because this is the whole purpose of man. Because in the end, eventually, all of us will have to account for what we do in this lifetime.
Tawag naman ng reverential fear. No?
Ha?
Reverential
So,
fear.
yan ang sasagutin.
So,
Anong tanong? Anong tanong?
Marami pa akong mga tanong. So, yun ang sinasabi ko. Kaya ako, gustong-gusto ko itong mga ganun. Low self-esteem.
May mention lang po ako tungkol sa fear. Ano po? Maybe it's an important point. In the Old Testament po, the statement that the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. The original word po dyan is yare in Hebrew. And yare has two meanings. One is fear and the other is reverence. Yung sabi niyo po. I think the better word is reverence.
Yeah.
Because reverence means that you are respectful, but you will approach.
Yeah.
But when you fear, you avoid. If I'm afraid of cockroaches, I will avoid. If I'm afraid of the teacher, I will avoid. If I'm afraid of God, I will avoid God. So I think the better translation of that word might be reverence.
Reverence.
Because fear, one of the results of fear, because fear is a psychological and instinctive reaction, the effect of fear is eventually hatred. If I fear a Jew, I will hate Jews. If I fear Malaysians, I will hate Malaysians. Ito po yung nagiging sanhi po ng conflict natin. So, I found that this distinction is important when it comes to religion because psychologically, clear po yung effect ng fear. Sige po, yan lang po yung comment ko.
Well, okay. Sasagutin ko yung The importance of any word is the meaning that you attach to it. Because just like fear, electricity, is it something to be fearful? If you don't fear electricity, ilagay mo ang kamay mo doon sa susukan. So, it could also be a healthy fear. Why? Because of the meaning that I put, that I inject, that I attach to the word fear. Marami sa nakataong hindi nagkakaintindihan because of the private interpretation or meaning that we put to it. So, andoon yun. Ano ba ang ipinakakahulugan natin? Sa pagkakaunawa ko, the word fear is ganun nga. Takot. Pero merong healthy na takot at ang tinatawag nga ninyo reverential fear. But we're talking about the same banana. I just, or kagaya ng spade, I call it spade, tawag ninyo pala. But we're talking of the same thing, di ba? Ganyan lang yan.
Natin. Ang tanong.
Ano?
Ang tanong.
No.
Magkakaroon station identification.
Sige, station ID na muna. Station ID na muna.
So, mga kababayan, nagkakainit na ng tanungan natin dito at palagay ko naman
lively discussion.
Liwanag ng tinuturan. Ang ating pinag-uusapan dito yung fear at saka reverence. Yun naman reverence, walang fear eh. Reverence, no fear, respect. Okay? Ang ating pong station identification.
Ito ang DWWD 1134 kHz. Balita, impormasyon at musika. AM at FM pinagsama. Ito ang Katropa Radio. Iba tayo.
Kayo ay nakatutok sa 1134 kHz. DWDD Katropa Radio. Iba tayo. Kami po ay kasapi ng KBP, Kapisanan ng mga Broadcaster ng Pilipinas.
What is a soldier? You see them in the news. You see them in video games, in TV, movies, the internet. We see the action, amazed at the equipment, in awe of the skills. But what is a soldier? What lies behind the guns, the bullets, the gear? An ordinary human being, just like you. An ordinary person that will become the country's best, the country's brightest, the country's heart and soul. A nation's servant whose honor is to serve the Filipino people. A protector whose duty is to lead in times of trouble. A noble warrior that has chosen to push themselves to being the best that they can be. An ordinary Filipino, just like you. that has chosen to serve, lead, and whose extraordinary actions can inspire a nation. What is a soldier of the Philippine Army? An ordinary Filipino called to do extraordinary things. A human being with heart and soul. A warrior with a noble code. A protector of our freedoms. A Filipino hero. And you could be one too. A soldier of the Philippine Army. Serve, lead, inspire. Find your calling here. Join the Philippine Army today. Serving the people. Securing the land.
Ito ang DWDD 1134 kHz Patropa Radio. Iba tayo!
Okay. Sa pagpapatuloy po natin, ibabatiin naman natin yung buhay ng ating programa. Uunahin ko yung pamilya ko kasi talaga nakatutok yan. At pag hindi natin napakinggan yung pangalan nila, may disgrasya ako dito eh. so yung Magpantay family, binabati ko po si Emma Magpantay, si Mrs. Suyan. Nakabantay sa akin sa Bicol yan for 3 days. Si Donna Marie Magpantay, siya po ang ating MC during the convention. Si Jacqueline po na andun din at si Don Magpantay din po ng Taytana, isa po sa mga awardees. Mag-asawa po silang pumunta doon. And of course si April po nasa nasa Dubai. Nanonood din siya.
Ayun.
At ito hong columnist at batikang writer na ito ay hinahangaan ko sa sa larangan ng advertising, si Mr. Dan Villa. Nanonood din po ito at saka yung amin nung Homeowners Association officer, one of them, si Madam Imelda Capasya. Yung pamangkin ko sa US, nakatutok din sa Eileen Aquino at Chacoso, si Cindy Bandukoy. At yung akin nung isang pinsan nasa US din, si Ria Di Guzman. At yung amin nung former Senior Deputy Governor ng Rotary, si Pamela Nadura. Ito, magandang babae din to. And of course, yung aming past district deputy, si Teodoro Senyo ng Knights of Columbus. At sa Candelaria, Quezon, piyesta ngayon, yung alumni po namin na galing din sa US, si Fred Untalan, ay ng Tayabas Western Academy, ay nakatutok din po sa ating programa. Dito po sa Bicol, ay kagabi po, may pumunta sa akin doon, sa aming tinutuluyan doon, isang college librarian, si Madam Imelda Peralta. Siya po yung College of Law Library ng Bicol University. At nabanggit ko po sa kanya sa susunod nating mga activities ay i-involve po natin sa education ang support po ng mga librarians and other parts of or other departments of say in an institution. Katulad po ng mga registrar. Naroon din po yung ating si Dr. Libert Asibo na siyang presidente ng mga registrar sa Pilipinas. At yan ho'y makakasama na po natin. So, maganda po itong balita tungkol po sa ating ginagawang activity sa Asian Council of Deans, Educators in Business dito ho sa Pilipinas. Ngayon, nakatutok din ho si Marlet Palma. Ito po yung aming former treasurer ng Lions Club International 301A2. Si Baby Almasora, Porto. At si Atty. Rex Raso, past president ng RC Paco. Ito yung isang napakagaling na abogado. Nagkakasulo ito sa iba-ibang bansa pa ng gusto mag-asawa. Di ba? Saka si former navigator ng Knights of Columbus, si Miguel Sanchez, si Dean Veronica Elizalde ng UE, University of the East.
Yes,
And Lady Lovely Che. At itong isa ho sa mga opisyal ng San Dionisio Credit Cooperative, na si Arthur Balana. Of course, si Region Chair po ng Lions Club International, si Ena Mulabi. And of course, yung aking pinsan na si Ellen Magpantay, nasa Quezon to. Region 7 na chair ng 301A District ng Lions International, si Aurora Camorialon. Ito kung mag-donate to by the bulk of $5,000. Naka-second na ito ng $5,000 at napaka-husay po nito sa pagtulong sa kapwa. And of course, my classmate, Engineer Norberto De Silva. Yan po ay may-ari na ngayon ng isang realty yan po sa Infanta, Quezon. Itong idol ko sa pagka-dean. Itong dean dati ho ng University of Manila, si Nelson Abileda. Nanonood po siya ngayon at nakikinig. And of course, one of the officers also, chairman ho ng business of San Dionisio Credit Cooperative na si Fernando Cortez. So ngayon po nakatutok sa atin yan. At itong babatiin ko po itong namumuno sa atin hong Armed Forces of the Philippines. Of course, ang atin hong Department of National Defense, Secretary Delphine Lorenzana, ang ating pong Armed Forces of the Philippines Chief of Staff, Paul Press General po, Pilimon Santos Jr., ang ating pong CRS Armed Forces of the Philippines Commander, sa Major General Ernesto Castro Torres Jr., ang Group Commander po ng Media and Civil Affairs Group, and DWW Katropa Radio Station Manager sa Major Lucel Lara, napakaganda pong opisyal nito. DWW Katropa Radio Production NCO na si Sergeant Jeffrey Malimban. And of course, ang ating technical assistant dito, si Ron Angeles. So bumabati po kaming sa ngalan po ng katropa ng Kamusta Kabayan ko. Ngayon, napababatiin ko naman ang ating parang kamukha daw ito ni ng isang artista Kaya maraming fans.
Isang artista.
Doc Mon, bati ka.
Okay, so thank you for watching and listening. My cousin in USA, Esther Wuna, nauuna siya sa listahan dito sa pumasok sa Facebook page. Si Dr. Danny Polilio, Sir Eric De Lorino, Juan Carlo Trinidad, Robert Bayan, Ann Santiago, Marieta Luisa Beltran, Sir Dr. Jake Arellano, Wid Azor, Dennis Lucero, Jose Marie de la Cruz, Tamin Arista, Stephen Ero, Ian Paul Anico, Dr. Ray Balibago, President of Oxfordian College in Dasmariñas, Cavite, Dr. Maria Cristina Aquino, she's the technical panel of Hospitality and Tourism Management of the Commission on Higher Education, Mandy Baldovino, Ricky Gula, Kian Lamtan, Archie Salvador, a guidance counselor of the University of UN, NU, National University, Dr. Bong Ceballos, Micaela Pantojo, Dr. Nats Priscilla, friend of Dr. Paul Brihino, and then Dr. Sir Johnny Camato, Chief Admin ng CHEDMI Maropa, Stars friend, Dr. Friend, Bishop Emerson Beriones, Joan Amor Diaz, Bishop Ru Viloria, and then isang president ng school, Robert Uy, and then Bishop Chris Canopen, Angelito Mar, may tukayo, Nonong Franco Del Cano, Maricon Viñalon, Heidi Calao, Shane Trinidad, Lance Carpio, Nelson Juanilio Esteba, Angelito Mar, Jose Marie de la Cruz, and then si Ramon Felipe. Ito siya yung natin, Mindoro. Marinduque. Owner ng Malindig Institute sa Marinduque. Dr. Zen Camo, she's the treasurer of PCDEB. And Dr. Virginia Aquiate, the NCR director ng CHED, who is with us.
Okay.
Thank you.
So maraming salamat, Doc Wu. Ngayon, pabatiin ko naman si
Oo,
si
kasi
katropang dito.
may mga nakaantabay sa akin eh.
Kaya dapat.
Yung mga listeners ko ng may subject under MBA, Master in Business Administration, yung Management of Change. Nakikinig sila, si Dayan, si Rain, Stephanie, Jay, at iba pang mga estudyante. And of course, lahat ng mga yung binabati ko yung mga estudyante ng Taguig City University kasi nga I'm handling yung graduate study at saka undergraduate. So, and kasalukuyan ako ngayong president ng Faculty Association. Saka medyo proud din ako. Ang sarap ng feeling na ikaw yung pinipili nila. So, parang wala nang mapili. Ganun.
You are very much proud.
Proud ako. So, again, of course.
Pinagmamalaki mo sila. Sila pinagmamalaki mo, hindi ikaw.
Diba? Proud na kabilang ako doon sa doon sa organization na yon, Taguig City University. So thank you so much, and of course keep on watching. Ang ganda nitong topic natin ito. And of course i-recommend ko to doon sa iba ko pang mga estudyante kasi meron akong subjects po na personal and professional development. So maganda to. Thank you so much.
Si Kabayo Ruben, yung mga barangay natin.
Of course,
Ayan.
in Canada right now, listening to us, kasi meron na tayong talagang nakatutok na yan sa Winnipeg, Canada. Pamangkin ko.
Nagahanga niya
Pamangkin ko si Daisy Banaag Agupitan, and her husband na ngayon ay nasa Saudi Arabia, si Benji Agupitan. Kapatid niya si Brian Banaag, and the family of Manny and Sally Caballero. Both of them are from Winnipeg, Canada. And of course in Vancouver, my niece Shaina Banaag, and in Edmonton, Canada, my brother Gabriel and his wife Tess Banaag, and Brian Balquiedra and his wife Grace Igpit Balquiedra. In New Zealand, we have Wita Earnshaw, and in Yokohama, Japan, we have May Abe, and in the San Francisco Bay Area, we have Nanette Olyada Domitrovich and Dr. Faye Saavedra in Lake Forest, California. And I was happy to hear from our classmate Gilbert Chupanco that our classmate from Sweden, Zenaida Vabes Hoffenschild, is also listening and watching us. So, akin natutuwa. Dahil sa ako, pinakamaiksi ang greeting sa mga kwan.
Magtanong ko na.
Itutuloy ko na ngayon yung tanong na hindi.
Sabitin
Because we've been talking about change is coming. I have to tell you that change has already come. All of us has been changed. And seemingly, Dr. Vikier has written book. I have not read your book about self-transformation. And self-transformation is when you transform. I'd like to believe that I have been transformed and you are transformed. All of us has been transformed, but transformed into what? That's the question. And since both of these are related to education, I am still to receive an answer na yung bang sa akin kasi pag-iisip, ang dami-dami kong narinig na definition of education, pero hindi ako masatisfy sa education. Iba't iba mga not only bachelor's, masteral, but even doctorates in education, and the definition they have been giving me, hindi ko pa rin matanggap. Kasi itong tanong, ano ba ang tunay na education, and who is an educated person? Yun bang tao na merong degree, merong eskwelahan, nagsabi sa kanya, you have successfully completed the requirements that qualifies you to become a doctor of education. So what and who is a real educated person?
Okay po. Doc B.
Napakalalim po ng katanungan nyo, Doc. And one approach in answering this question, which I often do when I conduct seminars on this subject, is this. Tinatanong ko po yung audience ko na kung kayo po ay merong kapangyarihan na i-develop ang anak ninyo sa into any kind of human being when they reach 30 or 40 years old, what qualities would you like to see in them?
Okay.
Then they would say, I'd like my children to be happy, I'd like them to be stable, I'd like to be, ganun. So maraming mga katangian. I would ask them, ano po yung top 5 na qualities that you would like to see in them? And usually, for example, happiness is in one of them. Be a good person is another quality of them. So whatever you choose as your top 5 or top 10, this is the goal of education and parenting. In other words, these are the kinds of human beings we'd like to see when they grow up. These are the kind of people we'd like to see in the world that will now populate the whole world. If we grow people who are insecure, anger-ridden, and so on, ito na yung mundo natin na puro hidwaan, puro alitan, puro selfish, in other words. So, for example, many people would say happiness is one of the things I'd like to see in my children, aside from financial stability and so on. Kung yun ang number 1 na goal natin sa buhay, tinuturo po ba natin yon sa eskwelahan? Kung hindi, bakit? You know how many years we spend in studying mathematics? From nursery up to college, second year, may math po yun. Sa mga, let's say, 14 years. Sino po sa atin ang gumamit na ng quadratic equation sa buhay po natin? Yung polynomials, yung factoring, yung square rooting, and so on. Sine, cosine. We never use them, and yet we spend 1 to 2 years or 3 years on them. Why don't we remove one semester and give it to a teacher who will teach how to become a more peaceful and happy person, how to be a better person, and so on. So there is something which needs some revision in our curriculum. Na we should be producing a balanced person, not just technically, professionally competent, but a person who will face life in a mature, peaceful, happy, and effective way. To my mind, this is the goal of education. And an educated person is somebody who is able to deal with life in general, not just the work, but life in general, and life includes one's health, one's peacefulness, one's happiness, relationship, family, children, society, service, spirituality. Pero ang nakatutok sa atin ngayon, oftentimes, is magkaroon ka ng trabaho after you graduate. Mataas ang sweldo mo, ganun. Parang sobra yung focus dito. And I think this is not complete education. I believe that all of our schools should widen our scope such that we should include these non-technical things. In the University of California, there is a very famous professor, anong pangalan niya? But he teaches a subject on love. It is the most popular, makahalera po yung mga estudyante gusto mag-enroll sa kanya. His name is Buscaglia, Leo Buscaglia. He has written about 3 books on love. And why are we not teaching about how to become a loving person in our schools? But we are teaching them how to do polynomials and sine and cosine and so on. Alin ba mas importante? Yung isa hindi ginagamit, yung isa kailangan natin. So this is part of, I think, the curriculum that we must develop. Sa amin po, required po ito. In fact, sa grade 11 and college, one of the assignments we have for students is that it's called the I Love You Challenge. Okay. Marami po sa aming mga estudyante, may problema po sa pamilya, sa mga magulang po nila. So we require them, after we help them remove the hatred, anger, resentment towards the parents, we tell them, okay, assignment, go and tell your parents, mahal kita, or I love you, at i-video mo ito. And then, next week, dadalhin nila yung video and then show. At the beginning, hirap na hirap sila. Ganon. Kasi nahihiya sila na ilang. Pero, one of the most beautiful sounding phrase that we can hear from anybody is when somebody tells us, I really love you. Nako, maiiyak pa tayo, but it's one of the most meaningful things that we can ever hear from our children. But it's never said because of fear. Fear of baka rejection ako, baka kwan. Ano. But our children, our students are taught not to be afraid of rejection. In other words, if I greet you good morning at inisnab mo ako, sino may problema? Ikaw ako. Ganon. So, I will still greet you tomorrow. Inisnab mo uli ako.
Okay.
Sino may problema? Ganon.
Bago ang tanong ni Ruben, ang ating station identification.
Okay.
Sa pagising sa umaga, ngiti ko'y masaya. Narinig sa radyo, boses ng katropa mo. Iba't ibang uri ng kwento, mapapakinggan dito. Sa Luzon, Visayas at Mindanao, pati sa buong mundo. Makinig na sa katropa, dito di ka mag-iisa. Makisaya, makibalita, makiawit sa musika. Sabay-sabay at sama-sama tungo sa pagkakaisa. The best at bida ka dito sa Katropa Radio. Iba tayo.
Hornet 95, wind calm runway 02 right, clear to land. Clear to land, Hornet 95.
We measure time in seconds. Distance in nautical miles. Fuel in pounds. And power with thrust. Along with the courage, dedication, and patriotism of our men and women, it is our duty to keep this country strong and sovereign. Guardians of the skies, bearers of hope, champions of peace. Padayon, Philippine Air Force.
Ito ang DWWD 1134 kHz Katropa Radio. Iba tayo.
Okay, kabayan Ruben.
Okay. Sa mga tinuran ito, si kasamang Vic, parang nakafocus ito sa life, no? Understanding life, ano? Allotting time for life. But we really understand what life is. Is life real? Totoo ba ang life? If life is real, can it stand by itself? Can there be life without anything except life itself? What is life without time? If time and life are two different things and they are real, can they exist by themselves? What is the meaning? Because with them standing by themselves, they're nothing. Otherwise, I will ask you, what is the color of life? What is the color of time? What is the shape? What is the texture? Wala. It just becomes a concept. It exists only in the mind. And if it is only in the mind, there are more than 7 billion people on the face of this earth. Therefore, life could be construed in more than 7 billion times. No? But even life and time are together, like husband and wife fuse in marriage. They are also nothing without potential. Potential is essential. Potential, time, and life must work together for there to be real meaning to all of this. Otherwise, all of them becomes just concepts. But how can we understand them when we are not the one who gave life to life, or time to time, or potential to potential? The very important thing for us to really understand it and for us to really understand ourselves is who is the one that gave us life and what is His purpose for giving us this life. Hindi ba? Ganon lang yun eh.
Ayun.
Ayun ang aking tanong.
Yes.
How can we transform ourselves into, how can we make change meaningful when we do not even understand who we really are? Sino ba talaga tayo?
Okay.
When hindi naman tayo ang gumawa sa sarili natin. Kung hindi ang merong nagbigay sa atin. Now, kilala ba natin yung nagbigay sa atin ng buhay? Napakarami niyan eh.
Okay.
The most lucrative business in the world is religion. And their product is God. Pinepeke ang dollar, ang peso. Napakarami. We are living in a society full of fakeries and counterfeits. And the number one object of fakery is God Himself.
Okay,
Most
pwede na sagutin.
faked. Di ba?
Pwede na
Kilala ba
sagutin.
natin talaga
Okay,
yon?
sagutin ng ating Doc Vic.
In the book that I have written on education, which I'm revising to almost double the size now, it will be published by this year.
Okay.
I address this issue. In other words, how do we understand the purpose and meaning of life? Kasi unless we know about this, we don't know what's the purpose of parenting and education.
Correct.
Ganon. Now, the views about this are varied. You can start from the philosophers, from the religions, or you can start from society, from the state. Iba-iba po ang agenda nila. The educational principles of a Christian school is different from the educational principles of a Muslim school or a non-sectarian government school. And they have their own philosophies. Ngayon, how do we know which one is right? Kasi hindi sila magkatugma-tugma. Even in Christian education, we don't agree on what is really Christianity and what are the doctrinal central tenets of Christianity. Alam niyo ba po kung ilang Christian sects there are in the world today? Na iba-iba po ang kanyang pananaw tungkol sa how many thousands? How many thousands?
I don't know.
There are 40,000 Christian sects or denominations in the world. Christianity alone, hindi na magkasundo-sundo. Ano ba talaga ang Kristyanismo? They don't agree. Who is Jesus? Who is God? And so on. So this is something which has been difficult when it comes to education and social parang policies on how to bring up human beings and so on. And so the earliest educators in the world, in various parts, are religious educators based on their religion. Later, when there was separation of church and state, it became the government. The government now dictates, okay, ang policy natin, ng DepEd or ng CHED ay ganito, susundin ang lahat yun. Ganun. But in the last century, the 20th century, there is a movement about secularization of this view of education and humanization. Parang what we call the humanism, meaning ano ba talaga ang purpose ng pagpalaki ng ating mga anak? And so there grew a group of people who were what are called humanistic psychologists like Abraham Maslow, Eric Fromm, and so on. Pagkatapos, there was also nag-mushroom po what are called alternative and progressive schools, which are producing some of the most balanced young students, in many parts of the world. So, ano po ang basis niya? Ang basis niya is partly science. Now, I know that religion and science may not agree on many things, but science and psychology have something to say about who we are. For example, Maslow said, ano ba talagang hinahangad ng tao? Ano ba ang sukdulan na inaabot natin sa buhay? Aristotle said that it is eudaimonia or happiness. Some religions would say it should be salvation and so on. Abraham Maslow and a group of psychologists found that we have an innate drive called self-actualization, meaning to actualize our highest potential, including spiritual potential. And he identified 5 needs, actually later dinagdagan niya pang-6. 4 of them are what are called deficiency needs. Physical needs, security needs, self-esteem, belonging. Pag may problema dito sa 4 na ito, nagkakasakit tayo. Halimbawa, if I am insecure, I will develop a kind of fear and my dealing with people will be different. If I am physically not taken care of, I'll get sick. if I have low self-esteem, I will feel as if na wala akong kwenta. Ganun. So itong mga kwan ito, pag hindi nasikaso, nagkakaroon tayong neurosis or even psychosis. And therefore, education, parenting, upbringing children should address these 4 needs. Ano yung 5th need? The 5th need is self-actualization. Yung the reaching of our highest potential, including spirituality. And in that sense, this addresses the need of religion. Not believing in this or that, but becoming a spiritual person. And this highest level, according to Maslow, according to Eric Fromm, according to many psychologists, should be the objective of all parenting and education in our life, because it also addresses the religious needs, but not sectarian needs. When one believes in Quran, one believes in the Bible, the other believes in Dhammapada, kanya-kanya yon. Pero lahat sila would like to bring up a wholesome human being. Isang mabuting tao, mabait na tao, matulunging tao, lahat yan nag-agree. Hindi sila mag-agree kung whether you should teach Jesus Christ or you should teach about Allah or Muhammad. But they agree on what kind of human being we'd like to develop. I think education, it is safe for education to assume that this is the direction of wholesome education, because the product is a good person, a competent person, a responsible person who will become a benefit to human society and mankind.
Okay, well said.
Okay.
Katropang Lito.
Iko-connect ko lang doon sa question kasi parang non-sectarianism, no? Parang ganun ang dating. Then, meron silang society, Theosophical Society, so in which I am very curious at interested ako kasi Theosophical, Theo means God, study about God or about God. Then, parang philosophical, no? Theosophical. So, ang question ko doon, paano i-merge yung different mindsetting ng religion, iba-ibang religion eh. At nagkaisa kayo doon po sa isang society na yon.
And that's a very wide topic, so I'll try to see whether I can put them in a gist. Every religion has an outer part and an inner part.
Yes.
The inner part is what we may call spirituality. The outer part would be the dogma and the rituals. Yung rituals, nagbabago po yun. Pati yung dogma, nagbabago din po yun. Whether Catholic Church, Protestantism, through the centuries, these dogmas change. Because, for example, before, we assumed that the world was created 6,000 years ago because of Genesis. But today, the Catholic Church, for example, does not take this anymore. They believe in dinosaurs, about the earth was billions of years. Hindi na yung 6,000 years as ganon. So these are the outer part, but the spiritual part has never changed. Ever since the early years of Christianity up to now, the early years of Islam up to now, that part has not changed. And this is, I think, the core of religion. The Theosophical Society tries to focus on the heart of religion. For example, to be a good person is, I think, a thing that everybody agrees on.
Yes.
To become a helpful person, a selfless person, is, I think, something that everybody agrees on. That we should be united rather than divided is, I think, something that we all agree on. Spirituality includes this reverence for the transcendent. How do we define that? The theological definition differ, but the mystical definition does not essentially differ. Mysticism is an experience of spirituality. Teresa of Avila, Meister Eckhart, Rumi of Sufism, yung the Dalai Lama, hindi po sila nag-aaway-away pagdating po dyan. Pero pag pinag-usapan na po yan, is Jesus God or not God? Ayun, grabe po ang away dyan. Pero that we should all try to become like Jesus, no one will argue about that. To become a really well-developed human being, yan. When it comes to dogma, yan, we want. So the Theosophical Society does not try to go into the dogmatic warfare, but rather to go into the heart of what is a wholesome human being, what is spirituality. And ito po yung dahilan kung bakit tumagal po ako sa Theosophical Society. Ako po lumaking at Katoliko. Pero nag-aral po ako sa Ateneo Danaga, and then lahat pong theology subject kahit hindi required yung tinake ko po yun because I'm interested in this. But I realized that within my own religion, there are a lot of internal inconsistencies and conflicts. So nagsaliksik pa rin ako ng kwan. Saka ako na-discovering, grabe palang uri ng Christianity na hindi rin nagkakasundo-sundo. And when I discovered the deeper part of Christianity, then I realized, ito pala yung talagang core ng Catholic religion. You know where I learned this? I learned this when I was in India. Kasi when I was already confused about the teachings that I was getting and reading, one day I went to India when I was about 20 years old. And when I talked to those who were teaching meditation, yoga, they were quoting the Bible. They were quoting Christian sources. Iniisip ko, yun ang pinag-inawanan ko sa Pilipinas, dito rin ang tinuturo. Then I realized that if you go deeper, hindi po talaga nag-iiba-iba ang Dalai Lama calls this the difference between sectarian religion and spiritual religion. Sectarian religion is based on dogma. Spiritual religion is based on the spiritual experience. Ako, I resonate with this one. Kaya marami po akong mga kaibigan, kahit anong reliyon, kahit atheist sila, kaibigan po sila, wala pong hitwaan, I respect their belief system. I think world unity and peace will be based on this, in this kind of inner feeling of all the religions, rather than just yung mga outer, yung mga pagdidiskita tungkol sa mga detalye ng religion.
So it has something to do with economical practice?
More than that. Because ecumenism usually means that, okay, lahat na Kristiyano magkaisa. Paano yung Buddhist? Paano yung Muslim? So it is a kind of recognition that humanity is one. Whether you're an atheist or a Buddhist or what, we are all human beings. Why don't we help each other? I may not agree with you about your concept of God, eternity, salvation, but you're still a human being. Let me help you. Ganon. This I think is the heart of what we may call the religious life.
Okay. Now, bago ko bigyan ng pagkakataon po si Doc Mon, gusto ko lang magbigay ng simpleng tanong na how do you suggest in terms of the philosophy of your training or your education on the military setting?
Yeah, you may be surprised that we are conducting the self-transformation seminar to military personnel.
Okay.
Yung mga bagong recruit po dyan sa Cavite, the combat soldiers in Mindanao.
Yes.
The commanding general in Mindanao before had been asking us to conduct it to their troops, and then when he became the superintendent of PMA, dinala niya po yung module na yun doon. So I spoke to PMA, mga graduating students who will become the future generals in our country, about this. Because sabi po niya, I forgot his family name, sorry. But anyhow, he told me his reason kung bakit ini-incorporate niya itong mga bagay na ito sa kanyang military training. Sabi niya, in the life of an average soldier, he only spends 7% of his life in combat. 93% he's not fighting anybody. What will he do during the 93%? Build for peace, build for society. In other words, the positive side. So when you're conducting in PMA, next day merong summary. Sabi nung nag-summarize, sabi niya, I had a change of a paradigm shift in my mind. I thought when I became a military person, my purpose is to shoot and fight. Iba pala, it's also to build peace. And this approach, I think, will be the future of what we call yung role ng military. You know that Costa Rica has no army. And yet it's the most peaceful country in Central America. Ganon. So this has been since about 1950s. So it's possible for a country to have a peaceful environment, even when we don't spend so much on military preparation. But it involves a whole culture in a country. So the military now can devote much of its time on this peace building, not just war fighting, but peace building. Kaya hanga ako doon sa superintendent about its philosophy.
Okay. Yes. So, well said. Doc Mon.
babati muna ako.
Oh, yeah. Sige,
Okay.
sige.
Kay Dr. Rachel Tadeo, Dr. Angelica Magtibay, Joshua Pilapil, Noel Benitez, again si Ramfel, and then Rita Concepcion, Taitefu, and then somebody also my students, from Saudi. He's watching right now, si Freddy Gonzalez, Now, ano lang ito, because I was able to attend this self-transformation seminar under Vic. Sa education naman, do you think it should start with the teachers? Ang pagbabago sa education?
Yes, it should start with a teacher. If there's a principal, it should also start with the principal. For parents, it should start with the parents. And so we're spending a lot of time having parenting seminar, teachers education seminar, and so on. And also encouraging, start a school based on this kind of an approach where there is no harm on students. So it starts with adult, I agree.
So let's say, for example, there's a school, existing school, who'd like to adopt this, this kind of education. How they could start? Can you give us a simple
Steps.
brief way on how to start this?
In response to a request in India, I wrote such a paper, a booklet, on how to start such a school. And one of the things I emphasized there is that it must start with the leader of that school. In other words, the leader must be convinced that these principles are sound. If the leader does not believe, it will not happen. It will not happen. So this involves a basic appreciation of the whole. It's not just about this particular approach that I'm talking about, but about ano bang purpose ng life, anong purpose ng education, ang purpose ng isang, ano bang gusto natin ma-develop na isang na kabataan, na maging adult. Yan. When it is clear, then the methodology comes later. Kasi methodologies are easier. The principles are the ones that are fundamental. Pag clear na yon, then teacher training na. Kasi the younger the teacher, the easier is it for them to adopt to this principle. The more experienced the teacher, the more na yung kanyang habit na sometimes it's difficult to change. Halimbawa, ang system niya is talagang nananakot. Pwede bang mabago yan within 1 month, 2 months? In our experience, no. They're still capable of changing themselves, pero the older they are, the more difficult. But it's possible. That's the reason why ang kinukuha po namin mga teachers, bata.
Kaya pala ang mga result ng mga accountants, kasi mga terrors ang mga teachers. Mga terrors afterwards, at yun ang nagiging problema namin sa management. So therefore, talagang overhauling on the character. Character building. Now, sayang po, 7 minuto na lang natitira at kami po magkakaroon ng final statements. Okay. So, uunahin ko si katropang Mon or katropang Lito. So, katropang Lito. Abahan mo na ng konti kasi
ako na una.
6 minutes. Ha?
Okay. So,
baka mauna ka nito. Matay tayo dyan.
Thank you so much.
Biro lang yan.
Of course, thankful tayo sa 2 hours natin with our guest, si Doc Vic. Kasi talagang very rare itong senaryo na ganito na talagang sabi nga, character building muna bago nation building. Diba? Kasi ang iba gustong magbabago agad ang buong sosyedad lipunan So tama yung personal muna Tama si Mahatma Gandhi, sabi niya, be the change you want to see in the world. So kung gusto mo magbago ang mundo, ikaw muna. Yun. Tapos another quotation, kasi nga isa sa mga paborito ko. Meron akong ginawa kasing parang presentation na 6 cycles of success. It starts with spirituality, intellectual, emotional, physical, financial, social. So sabi ni Mahatma Gandhi, di ba? No man can parang perfectly work on one thing and yet may ginagawa siyang mali sa other departments. So dapat holistic eh. So in all cycles dapat, in all areas dapat nandun yung approach palagi. Hindi po pwede yung isa lang babaguhin mo. Kaya nga sa pag-aaral minsan, financial lang. Kaya pag nagtapos, hanap agad ng trabaho. So nawawala yung character building talaga. So dapat holistically. Kaya nga yung nakita ko na dapat it starts with spirituality. Kaya gustong-gusto ko yung yung theosophical approach na yun. Atin tayo dyan. And isa na lang, last time na nabanggit ko yung life, in the center of life is IF or life has a lot of ifs. Ang dami mga if eh, di ba? Sabi ko yung L, pwedeng loneliness kapag hindi ka naging successful, failure ka, hindi ka nagpapatuloy, you will become lonely. Pero yung E sa dulo ng life ay pwedeng enjoyment yon. If you will become successful, kahit ang dami mga failures, ginawa mo ulit, hindi ka tumitigil, so you will become successful and enjoy. So, bottom line, ang life pala, kapag ka natutunan natin to, di ba? Sabi ko, pag binati kayo, lalo pag English yung bati, how's life? Dapat ang sagot, I'm living in full energy. Life, living in full energy.
Talagang nagbabago na si tropang Lito. You have the big change. Doc Mon.
Final, no? What I learned today is about skills. No, there are three skills: work skills, professional skills, and the most important is the life skills.
Yes.
No, and also I would like to tell everyone, papakita ko lang po sa inyo ang libro ni Vicente Hauchin, our guest right now. Meron po siyang book, The Process of Self-Transformation, a Mastery of the Self and Awakening of Our Higher Potentials.
Saan po na-avail yan?
Doon sa Theosophical meron.
Doon lang.
And then on education, no? Pero may revise po siya. Actually, I've heard this. I've read this already. And meron siyang bago coming up, a new book about education this year. So, sana maka-avail na naman ako nung isang libro na yan so that ma-enrich pa yung knowledge ko on education. No? So, thank you and good morning sa ating lahat.
Okay, salamat Doc Mon. Ngayon, ang bibigyan ko ng huling statement ay ang ating guest. Unahin ko si Kabayang Ruben. Final statement.
Okay. The most common used word today is change and self-transformation. These are essential. Otherwise, the whole society, education, and everything in it will eventually self-destruct unless change comes. That is eventually going to come. But it has to, as Pastor Lito here was saying, we must first self-change. Magsisimula ang pagbabago sa aking sarili. Pero anong uri ng pagbabago kung hindi alam kung anong direksyon ako pupunta? Kaya change na merong tutulong sa akin. At ang tutulong sa akin ay ang nagbigay sa akin ng buhay at ng aking potensyal. Sapagkat siya lamang nang dahil sa kanya ako ay nagkaroon ng buhay at marirealize ko ang aking potential. At ang potential is nothing unless it is actualized. So, for that reason, eventually, that is going to come. And that is going to come not because of me, but in spite of me. Because this very Creator of mine said, I am God. I declare the end even from the beginning. Besides me, no one else.
Maraming salamat katropang Ruben. Ma'am, umiksi yan.
Saka maganda pakinggan.
Maganda pakinggan. Now, ang gusto kong isuggest sa ating final statement ng ating bisita rito, samahan niya yung ideal leadership in running a business. Kasi hindi natin na-touch kanina yun eh. So, di ba, dagang profit yan eh. Profit. Now, meron siyang i-inject. Kasi kalimitan sa atin, mga negosyante. Ako, advocate ako ng entrepreneurship. And when you run a business, ano ba yung ideal leadership? Be part of your parting words, Doc Big.
Sige, I don't know. Well, we seem not to have the time. Malaking topic po yun. But I'll just mention this.
Yeah.
These principles I have applied in my own business life.
Yan.
Kami po nasa manufacturing. Meron po kaming so-called competitors. Pero wala po sa aming competitors na kaaway namin. Yung isang factory po na competitor namin, na kung siya ay lumago, medyo mababawasan kami lumago, bababa siya. Nangailangan po ng tulong, nawalan po silang materyales. So, hihinto po sila. Lumapit po sa amin, pwede bang humiram ng materyales? Eh, kung iniisip po ang sarili namin, wala ko kaming kuwan, gagamitin namin. This is a very good reason. Ang sagot ko po, lend them whatever we have. And you don't even talk about the price or paano pagsoli, pero lend them. So, hindi po sila inahinto. 3 beses po yun nangyari in different years. I always say, help them. So, we are good friends. Kahit na competitor in the market, hindi po kami nagkukonsaba. Pero, we are very good friends. And I believe that even in business, these principles will work because business is stressful. Business is oftentimes selfish. Business is often corruption also. Correct. Why don't we as businessmen contribute to a better society by lessening corruption, lessening our own dishonesty, tapos being friends with everybody, helping society, and not killing each other. Meaning sabihin, competitor ko, gusto ko patay. That's not life. That's the law of the jungle. But among mature people, hindi dapat yun. In dealing with our employees, it's the same thing, fairness. Tapos, let it be a community na wholesome. Hindi yung natatakot sa boss, andyan ang boss, tago na. Hindi. If we cannot be happy in our work, half of our life is unhappy. So we should be happy at home and happy at work, wherever we are doing in our work. So it's part of the task of business people to create a community, not just for profit, but also for human development. Peacefulness, goodness, service to society. Then we'll have a better world.
Yan, napaka-meaningful po yung ating araw ng linggo ngayon. Kaya po talagang napakapalad po nating lahat sa araw na ito. At ako po, kaya po yung aming topic sa Asian Plus Council of Leaders and Administrators, Educators in Business and other field ay yung collaboration na introduce po yan. Meaning, we collaborate with each other. Kaya nga ho, lahat ng sectors in the society ay tinatawagan po namin yan to join us on our ASEAN First Asia Pacific Conference of Students, Educators, and Business Leaders. Yan po yung, ngayon tama-tama po itong tinura ng ating bisita rito at yan po ang ating guiding principles. That's why we put up this organization para sa mga educators saka sa business leaders. Could you imagine, yun ho magkakompetensya, nagtutulungan. Sa education ho yung magkaklase, magkatabi, naglalabanan. So, yun ho ang lesson, even brothers and sisters. Marami ho tayong nakikita na magkapatid talagang nagpapatayan yan for the sake of business. Kapatid po yan. And yung mag-asawa, nagkakaroon din ng kompetensya. So, dito, yung sinasabi natin, yung pong ating pinag-usapan today, this could be a lesson to all of us. Even yung tinatawag nating conflict with other countries, with the ideologies, baka dito humasol. Sapagkat narito na ho yung pagkakataon at meron tayong tao na talagang tumutuklas ho. Even on the 40,000 kinds of religions, ay nagsasaliksik siya paano mayu-unite yan into one principle. And at least natuklasan po ito ng ating pong programa through Dr. Wu. Alam niyo itong si Doc Mon. Ito silent na mina ito eh. Kaya ito hindi ko pinapakawalan eh. Yeah, no. Although pag yung sinisis sa kanya yung virus ngayon, coronavirus. Sinasabi ko, hindi mukha lang yan. Pero yan, Pilipino yan. Kaya sinama ko sa Bicol, wala kaming mask eh. Di ba? Kasi, yun ay pagka ikaw ay naniniwala sa Diyos at saka, alam mo naman yung may sakit eh. Maglinis ka, malinis ang kinakain mo, malinis ang utak mo, malinis ang puso mo, hindi ka tatalaban ng sakit.
Yeah.
Yung fear, natatakot kang mamatay. Kasi, pag nagkasakit ka, akala mamamatay ka na. Kasi, hindi ka nakahanda.
Yeah.
Di ba? Now, sa ngalan po ng Kamusta Kabayan ko, at sa ngalan po ng ating Armed Forces of the Philippines, at saka mga educators, at saka lalo na itong ating bisita ng Kamusta Kabayan ko, na grupo ng katropa, si Doc Mon, Doc Lito, Doc Ruben. Ako po ay nagpapasalamat at kayo po ay nagtiyaga ngayong araw na ito. Yung hindi po namin nabati sa susunod na linggo, kalahating oras ang pagbati po ni Doc Mon. Maraming salamat po and have a nice day. Thank you very much.
Ito ang DWWD 1134 kHz. Balita, impormasyon at musika. AM at FM pinagsama. Ito ang Katropa Radio. Iba tayo.